I don't even know if this is working. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see if this is working. I have no idea. Go to mid channel and what do I see? It says live. You can hear my dog. Hey, happy new year. I'm testing out. I had to my OBS screwed up, so I've had to reinstall everything. So, apologies while I'm still going through this. Give me just a second. But definitely a couple things I want to talk about. Let's see. Just a sec. And happy new year to everyone. Give me just a second. I'm going to tweet this out. What's up, P-Lump? What's up, man? Give me just a second. And there we go. Posted that. So should be good on that. And post that there. So you're seeing me in real time do all this. Right here, this freaking dog. Give me a second here. All right. So I appreciate y'all hanging out. And I thought you could I had to redo all of OBS, like the whole thing. All of a sudden, I couldn't get any audio coming through OBS. So I had to uninstall it, reinstall everything, lost all my settings, all of that. So I'm kind of just doing this on the fly right now. So I appreciate y'all hanging out, checking this out. That's why I didn't want to just run and go, hey, I'm live streaming. And I got this whole format because I am literally in real time trying to figure out how to fix all this stuff. What do we got? Yo, my God. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about with these hardware prices, RAM, GPUs, you know, the next gen consoles, should they be delayed, all that stuff. I'm sure a lot of you have seen Stranger Things and what else has been going on. Everything with obviously Marvel putting out all these Avengers Doomsday teasers, all these different things that's been going on. You had to unsubscribe and resubscribe to be able to chat. Really? Interesting. Did I screw that up? I thought I made it so anybody could chat. Sorry about that. If that got screwed up. I know I had it like on subscriber mode only just because I had it there for a while. But yeah, I just put it off so anyone should be able to chat. What's going on, Web Dave? Happy New Year. Good to see you. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of start off the year. I've not done a live stream, I think, God, since beginning of November, something like that. Obviously just going through the holidays, everything with the kids, all that. And now that we're on the other side, 2026, I definitely want to start doing more stuff on my channel. So here I am kind of kicking off the new year. Give me 1 second. Ooh, what do I think is next for the ROG Ally or the ROG Xbox Ally X? Well, I don't know if you just saw, Asus is raising the prices on all this stuff. So think of this. It's now more than $1,000 to get that Xbox Ally X, which is insane. We'll see what the price actually is going to be, but that's just crazy. What's next? I know Danny and I had an interview with Asus back in October, and I'm not going to CES this year. I was going to go, but I'm not going to go. I got pre-briefed on some stuff that's been embargoed, so I'll be able to talk about that pretty soon. But anyways, to the point I was, when we got a chance to talk to Asus, they hinted, yeah, they're going to continue to work on improvements for it, and we should be getting something, I would assume, in the first quarter of the year. We'll see what that is. Obviously, Microsoft is going to continue to iterate on the Windows side of it as well. I think one of my biggest things is being able to get the right cover art in your third-party libraries when you bring in a game from Steam or the Epic Store or whatever. Right now, you'd have to use something like SteamGrid DB, which can fix it and update it. But that should just natively happen. You shouldn't have to use a third-party app to get that done. And obviously just other UI improvements, navigation things that I'm hoping to see, being able to hit that Xbox button, have access to third-party apps like Discord right off the bat, so I don't have to jump into the Windows desktop to be able to get Discord, things like that. So that's what I'm assuming we will see here in 2026, things like that. But TBD. Yeah, January 5th, they're raising the price. Like I said, I don't know what the price is going to be, but man, it just goes into that whole conversation that I was saying about just these RAM prices, and now like the GPU, like it's crazy. And I'm not doing this to humble brag, but like I have a 5090 that is in this PC right now. I have this 4090, and it's like, hell, I could probably sell the goddamn thing and freaking get some for it. It's just insane. Like I'm gonna set up a second PC at some point in the next few months, which is why I kept my 4090. But the fact that 4090 right now is probably worth thousands of dollars, and then what are they saying? The 5090 is going to be upwards of $4,000. It's insane. It's not worth trying to build a PC right now. Then with the RAM shortages, how crazy all the prices is with the RAM as well. That's why I personally say, and I've seen different pushback on this, but I try to think of it logically. Delay these next gen consoles. Like the Steam machine should 100% be delayed. I do not want to see a Steam machine in the first 2 quarters of 2026. Not until all this RAM stuff stabilizes. Then let's set a price and see what it's going to be. But even when I think about Xbox and PlayStation 6, let's keep this a buck, man. Let's be real. Do we really need a new console in the next 2 years? Really? Seriously? They've not even scratched the surface of these current consoles to be worrying about, oh, I need the new Xbox or I need a PlayStation 6. Personally, like, you could push that stuff off to 2028, 2029. I'm good. That's how I personally see it, because if you already got a PS, like I said, they've barely scratched the surface of this gen. With the pandemic, obviously set game development way back. We're just now starting to see the full potential of these consoles. So honestly, I'm in no rush. Not at those prices. I'm not in a rush to get a new console. Now, like, look, if the PlayStation 6 was, you could get it for $400 and you could still get like the next Xbox for $450 or $500, sure, whatever. But now we're talking, let's start at $1,000 entering the conversation for a next console. That's crazy. I don't want to spend $1,000 on a console. And if it's because RAM prices are out of control, if there's GPU shortages, so they have no choice but to charge you $1,000+ for a gaming console, I'm good. I already got one. Make the game for that. I'll play it on that. I can wait. I have patience. You know what I mean? Because you also have to think of this too. Any game that comes out now until 2030 is going to be cross-gen regardless. The Witcher 4, everybody excited for The Witcher 4? Hold on. Let me see if I got the thing right. Let's see. All right. Like, everybody excited for The Witcher 4? It's going to be on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X anyways. I mean, like, this is a picture I took from The Witcher 3 years ago. I just think it's freaking dope. That's how much I love that game. And we're going to talk about The Witcher 3 and DLC in a minute. But sure, The Witcher 4 comes out. Everybody's going to want to get it day one, but not everyone. Let's just say the next gen consoles are out when The Witcher 4 comes out. I guess it sounds like now holiday 2027 potentially. Say there's a next Xbox and a PlayStation 6 out in holiday 2027. Most people are going to play it on a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X, regardless if the next consoles are out. And at what we're thinking the pricing might be, the vast majority is absolutely going to stay on a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox Series X. I mean, yeah, the hardcore enthusiasts, obviously a lot of people that are here in this chat right now, we're just going to ride and go get the stuff anyways. I'm a cheapskate. I don't want to. I don't want the prices to be out of control. I want the prices to be reasonable. And if that means we got to wait an extra year or two to get the next consoles, I'm good. I'm good. Look at a game like Doom: The Dark Ages. Look at a game like Death Stranding 2. Look at a game like Ratchet and Clank. Look at a game like Horizon. What else am I thinking of? Look at something like Forza Horizon 5. Already, I mean, games look good on the current consoles is the point that I'm trying to make. And sure, we always want the latest and greatest hardware and all those things. I get it. But this is not the time. Not with just the market in such crisis and obviously the AI stuff, just everything that's in crisis right now. My advice, stick with what you got. The games are coming anyways. We can just see, like in 2026, like I'd put out my top 10 list of games that I'm looking forward to in just 2026. I don't need a next gen console to play those. And these are games that I'm very excited to play. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6 is one. I think about a Replaced. I think about a Forza Horizon 6, a Gears E-Day, Wolverine, Sorrows, on down the line, Resident Evil Requiem. I mean, there's so many dope games coming out this year that does not require me to buy more hardware to be able to play them. I'm good. That's all I'm saying. So I don't even know how many people are here. I'm just running my mouth, but I do appreciate y'all hanging out in the chat. Like I said, I'm just rambling on. So obviously, you know, you got any pushback on what I said, want to add to the conversation, just go ahead, put something in the chat, let me know. We'll have a conversation about it. And I'm reading through this now. Okay, Red Misfit is saying absolutely not. Delay it to 2028 or 2029. Basically what I was saying. I bought a Switch 2 as soon as I heard different heart. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, that was the thing. It is insane that if you would have bought a console in 2020, it is cheaper than buying the same exact hardware today. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Here we are in 2026, 6 years later, or 5 years later, really. But you get my point. Let me see. I have a Steam Deck, a Series X, and a Switch 2. I'm set. Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. I mean, if you already got the hardware, you're good. That's the point I'm trying to make. Yeah, let me see. What else were we saying? I'm wondering what the AI chip in the Xbox X can do for the user game experience. Any thoughts on that? I mean, we'll see. I honestly, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on it because I don't want to speculate too much on what it's going to do. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some upscaling, things like that. That's going to happen because of that AI chip. But what its full capabilities are going to be and how that's going to enhance your gaming experience on that particular handheld versus on a Steam Deck, or if you're just playing it on your normal console, I don't know. But I would assume we will find out here in 2026. I'll put it that way. GTA 6 gets delayed also. You know, and it's funny because kind of funny. We're going to do our fantasy draft next week. I won't have the first pick, I don't think. But if I did, I think I'd take Grand Theft Auto 6. I do. I think it's coming out. I don't think they'll delay it to 2027. Believe it or not, like I took Fable last year thinking it was coming out. Obviously it got delayed. I'm not drafting Fable this year. I think there's a better than 50% chance it comes out this year, but again, it's not 100%. It's not in the 90 percentile. I think there's still a chance Fable doesn't make it this year and winds up being early 2027. So I think there's a greater chance Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out than Fable. Let's put it that way. And is Paris saying delay because I'm here for it? This generation is a joke. The generation, well, and I know what you mean by saying the generation is a joke. I totally get it. Because, yes, there's been some amazing games this generation, but everything around the business of games, just all that stuff has been almost cursed, but I will curse. It's a shit show. It just is. I mean, it has been because of the pandemic, all the delays that we're seeing. Obviously, the changes, Microsoft clearly, Xbox pivoted in the middle of the generation. The raising prices, studios closing, games canceled, layoffs, all these things that have happened this generation has been damn near unprecedented at this scale in the 50 years of gaming. So yeah, you're right in that sense that it has been a joke in that way, and some of it could not be helped. Obviously, the pandemic, other ones, obviously the acquisitions, all these things, and changing business models in the middle of a generation. So that's the one thing that I was just talking about this with Jez. He's going to have it out on Xbox 2+1. I think it comes out next week. I was just talking about this. My biggest criticism of Xbox with I really don't care about exclusives. I mean, exclusives were just always a part of gaming. So it was just something you're always going to do. So when Microsoft made the change to exclusivity, I mean, yeah, it was shocking. Put my foot in my mouth 100%. But I really don't care. Honestly, there should just be one device and games you just play wherever you want. So I'm okay with you get to choose where you want to play your games. But my issue is, you didn't do it at the start of a generation where you gave people a choice, where you allowed someone to make an educated decision on what hardware they're going to buy. Because in 2020, exclusivity still mattered, right? 2021, exclusivity still mattered. You get my point. So people were buying an Xbox because that was the only place I could play Forza or Halo, right? Or Starfield or whatever the case. And then you decided 2 years ago, no, that's not the case no more. And now people have made that decision, and obviously we go from there. So if I have a critique of that, sure, I get it. You made the huge acquisition with Activision. You decided, hey, this is something we had to do, for the business. I get it. But maybe play it out to the end of this generation and you go, hey, we're going to go into the next generation and we're going to make all of our IP available on multiple platforms. That way you now get to choose if you want to buy a PlayStation 6. If when I asked Phil the question, why would I buy an Xbox? He said it would be on the merits of the hardware itself. Then I get to see the hardware and I make that choice, right? Or I just build a PC or I cloud stream or whatever. That should be the biggest critique with Xbox. I get people online, social media, you got your troll accounts and they like to, pull up old clips and, oh, you said this, you said that. Fair, because I did say it because I meant it when I said it. But, this was something that could have been avoided. I mean, I guess it could have been avoided. Clearly, like I said, when they acquired Bethesda, exclusive still mattered. When they acquired Activision, it changed. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. Anyways, I don't want to dive too much into that. I want to continue to move on. And what is Red Misfit saying? Even though I know you're excited to play GTA 6, you're not really a GTA guy. You're more of an RPG person. I think you said the last one you played and completed was GTA 3 or San Andreas, right? Oh, now if you're talking to me, no, I played GTA 5. I completed GTA 5. But you're right. I'm not the biggest GTA person in the world. It's not my most anticipated game next year. Let's put it that way, right? Even though I understand the phenomenon that is Grand Theft Auto. Yes, I will get it day one, play it and all that. I get Rockstar, they're masters at this, right? When I think of open worlds, I'm more of a CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk Night City type of open world, more so than what Rockstar does with Red Dead Redemption and Grand Theft Auto. And I love them all, don't get me wrong, but to your point, It's not that I'm the biggest one. Like, that's the only game I got to play. Like, you know, whatever. I'm actually more excited to play Forza Horizon 6 or Gears of War E-Day. Definitely Wolverine. I mean, I can't wait to play Wolverine, stuff like that. So I get your point. What else we got here? Your first pick needs to be Bijan Robinson. Oh, you're talking fantasy football. Yo, here's the thing. And don't get me started on my Bucks and this collapse. Bijan Robinson is special, man. You cannot tackle that dude. I mean, he makes the first guy miss every time, and he's so good. He's one of those generational running backs, and the Atlanta Falcons are wasting his talent right now. So I am not hoping they get their act together because the Falcons are in our division, but that dude is special, man. I'm not going to say he's Barry Sanders because he's not, but he's up there. He's one of those, you instantly watch him and you go, he's different. He's special. Get that dude the ball. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sly Assassin. Yeah, Snowbike Mike has the first pick because he won the fantasy draft last year. So he made the rule and he gets the first pick. Like I said, I actually got to create my thing, and I think we draft next week. Pretty sure we draft next week. And what do we got here? Still scrolling through. P Lump with $2 super chat. Appreciate that, brother. PlayStation is dead. No, PlayStation is definitely not dead. Definitely not. Like I said, I'm very excited for Wolverine and Soros. I mean, I was huge, love Returnal. So I love Housemarque and what they were able to do at Returnal. So definitely looking forward to Soros. I mean, it's Insomniac, Wolverine. You know, I'm obviously a big fan of the Spider-Man games. So we'll be very curious to see what they're going to do with Wolverine. That's going to be, like I said, one of the biggest games coming out this holiday. Now, could PlayStation do more? I mean, you know, Marathon's going to come out. Look, knock on wood, we'll see what Marathon's going to be. Do I wish we're getting more from PlayStation's internal studios? Absolutely. But those two games alone are going to be pretty big for them next year. So I'm definitely excited to play them. And loved Ghost of Yotei last year. Thought it was one of the best games of the year. And obviously go back to 2024. Astrobot was my game of the year, and it was voted game of the year. So there you go. No, I have not played Expedition 33 yet. And I'm keep it real. I don't know when I will. I don't, because I didn't do it this holiday. I got super addicted to Hades 2 over the holiday break. So much so that is my game of the year. I was going to say it was going to be Blueprints, but Hades 2 overtook it as my personal game of the year. And I was like, oh, I'm going to play Expedition 33 during the holidays, and I didn't. So I'll try to figure it out. But there's going to be so much coming here in 2026. I just hope I find the time and experience it, because everyone I know that has played it loved it. So I know I need to play it. And I was an Eagles fan saying, Eagles to the Super Bowl, Paris. This is the most unpredictable season in NFL I can remember. So as a Bucs fan, speaking of unpredictable, here's my doomsday scenario, right? So Raheem Morris beats the Saints to help Dave Canales get Carolina to win the NFC South. Dave Canales used to be our offensive coordinator. Raheem used to be the Bucs coach back in the day, right? So you got that connection. Then Carolina's in. Jacksonville, Liam Cohen, he was our offensive coordinator last year, went to Jacksonville. They wound up winning the AFC and win the Super Bowl. So that is my doomsday scenario right there, that basically it is the ghost of Bucs coaches past coming to haunt me and make me even sadder this January and February. So we'll see, man. But you know what? Yeah, the Eagles obviously going to win. The Rams going to win. I mean, it is extremely unpredictable. Like, crazy enough, if the 49ers beat the Seahawks tomorrow, they could be the first team to play every playoff game in the Super Bowl in their home stadium. I think that'd be, not that I'm rooting for it, but that'd be cool to see. It'd be interesting. And what else we got here? Literally joined the stream after, with all the delays. I'm really hoping. Sorry, I'm just catching up on the chats here. Yeah, you know, with the Lions, I feel bad, man. And I was even telling Dirk Griggity this like some months back because I know he's a big Detroit Lions fan. I love Dan Campbell. I love Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell could coach my team anytime. And I think their window closed. I hate to say it because I want to see Detroit fans get that W. I want to see them have their thing. I thought the last 2 years that was their window to do it. And then when they essentially blew the NFC Championship game to the 49ers, and then you lose, you got the 1 seed and you lose at home, to Washington, I was like, that might be it. And I get it was injuries and all that last year, but then you follow up this year. I mean, they're not even going to make the playoffs, which nobody predicted that was going to happen. So I'm a little worried about their window might be closed because, hey, I like seeing when the bad teams finally get their run and have a chance. You got Dan Campbell, good coach, got great players on that team. And just unfortunately, that's the crazy thing about football. You never know. Hell, look at us. We were 6-2 and we about to be 7-10. But I'm a Bucs fan, so I'm used to it. Like I tell my son already, I've been watching this team for 50 years, so nothing surprises me at all when it comes to that as far as the Bucs go. Let's see what else we got. But no, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out here, especially since I just randomly decided to do this stream. So I know we talk about the RAM prices a little bit. Talk about The Witcher 3 because, like I said, I put this photo up right there. There's been, and again, I want to be crystal clear. I don't know jack shit. Okay, so I want to be crystal clear on that. But I know there's been rumors and rumblings about potentially an actual paid DLC coming out for The Witcher 3 here in 2026. Sign me the F up. That's all I got to say. Look, Geralt's story's been told. We got Hearts of Stone. We got Blood and Wine, which is arguably the greatest expansion. I mean, it was damn near a game on its own. That's how good Blood and Wine was. But that told Geralt's story. So now I think this DLC, if it comes out, you're probably playing as Ciri. That just makes sense. And obviously Ciri, was a playable character in The Witcher 3, obviously, in small sample size. So I think, all right, you're playable as Ciri in here, and you can kind of use that as the bridge to get to where Ciri is now older in The Witcher 4, which they're saying would come out in 2027. So it makes a lot of sense that if they do it, and it would be amazing to see that The Witcher 3 is 10 years old, that a 10-year-old game gets more paid DLC for it. Actual something that you would want to pay for, you want to play, you want to experience. How many hours of entertainment you get out of it, we'd have to see. But I would love that. I would absolutely love that. It's not just some cosmetic DLC stuff. This is actual story elements, combat elements, RPG elements that you're getting with Ciri in The Witcher 3, and then use that as a bridge to get to Ciri to The Witcher 4, in 2027. So I hope it's true. I mean, like I said, it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, there's been a lot of rumblings with Cyberpunk 2077 as well, that they'll have some kind of DLC come out there too, which it's funny. And I'm not fully versed on how all this went down, but CD Projekt Red got co-CEOs, so they got new leadership, because originally they were done with The Witcher 3, they were done with Cyberpunk, then they got new leadership, and instead they're continuing to iterate on these games and add more content to them. And to be honest with you, why not? Witcher 3 is arguably one of the greatest games ever made, right? And you have you've already seen, they did the updates for the Series X, and I believe it wasn't the Pro, it was just the PS5, but they did like those updates. You got the mod kit stuff on PC, all the ray tracing updates, all those things. And then obviously Cyberpunk, they didn't give up on, they kept working on that. We got Phantom Liberty, and even post that, we're still getting content. And I guess they're saying Cyberpunk 2 would be, again, these are all rumors, but would probably be 2030, which makes sense because, again, that would be 10 years later from the original Cyberpunk. But in the interim, why not put out content on the previous games? People still have appetite for them. Just look at the Steam charts. People are still playing these games. So, yeah, I think it makes sense. It would not surprise me at all for it to be true that we do get some Witcher 3 DLC here in 2026. Like I said, use that to kind of close the chapter for Ciri in The Witcher 3 and use it as a bridge leading into The Witcher 4. No, I did not talk about The Witcher 1 remake. And you know what's funny? I'd always thought we would get The Witcher 1 remake before The Witcher 4, But then, and someone, it was like I had posted something online and someone corrected me saying that they had said in an earnings call that it's still years away. So they're still working on that. So TBD on the Witcher 1 remake. I have no idea when that's coming out, but that is also something that I would look forward to and I would want to play. What else do we got here? Oh, who do I have in the college football playoff? Hey, man. Okay, let me be clear on this. I'm a Florida State Seminole fan, so seeing that the Miami Hurricanes are in the semifinal makes my stomach turn. Not a fan of that at all, but I'm rooting for Indiana. I want to see them I want to see them close the deal. I do. It was funny because I remember just watching them earlier in the year before, you really didn't know. And I'm like, wait a minute, this Mendoza kid's pretty gosh darn good. This team is pretty good. That defense is flying around. They're really good. And then here we are, and it was funny because even my son yesterday, when they played Alabama, he was like, oh man, you think Alabama's a I was like, man, they finna put belt to ass. And that's exactly what happened. 38-3. I think them in Oregon, in my opinion, that is the actual real national championship, because I think whoever wins that game wins the whole thing. And they obviously played Oregon earlier this year as well. So yeah, I'm rooting for Indiana, and then I hope Miami loses. That's my thought. And what's up, everybody is in the chat. I appreciate y'all jumping in here, hanging out. Like I said, I just wanted to, get an initial stream going for 2026. My whole OBS got wiped out, so I had to restart everything. So I got to continue rebuilding all my scenes and everything. But I just want to jump on and talk because it'd been a few weeks, obviously going through the holidays and everything. And now we're here in 2026, got a lot of games getting ready to come out. There's been obviously a lot of crazy things on the entertainment side that's happened as well. This whole Netflix acquisition of Warner Brothers. I guess Warner Brothers is rejecting the hostile takeover again from Paramount. So it is really starting to look like Netflix is going to be able to acquire Warner Brothers. I know I saw that thing today that was... There was no, what's the word I'm looking for? There was no, let me just explain what it is. So Netflix, it came out, allegedly Netflix only wanted Warner Brother movies to stay in the theater for 17 days before they come to streaming. And then, of course, that came out to be false, because why would Netflix, even if they were going to do it, why would they go on record saying that they wanted to do it now before they actually acquired it? They're not going to say that. I hope that does not happen, because I don't want to see cinema go away. But yeah, it turns out what they said today was not true. But it is going to be interesting to see how all this plays out with all the Warner Brothers property, how is HBO Max going to stay standalone, or they're just going to integrate all that stuff into Netflix and, go from there. I think the one thing here in 2026 with Netflix is seeing them acquire all these podcasts. Hell, acquire me. I'll put my stuff on Netflix, but seeing a lot of variety of podcasts go to Netflix, and obviously they're going to be on video, and, instead of just audio as well. So they're definitely expanding. They're definitely trying to create more content, get on that service, and we'll see how it goes. Now, speaking of Netflix, I know, and I won't spoil anything here, but Stranger Things has ended, and, the opinions are all across the board. Some people really loved it. Some people really hate it. Some people, like myself, are kind of in the middle, where there's things about it I liked, and there's things I'm like, huh? What? What are we doing? What happened to this character? Where's this? I will just simply say, when I watched that finale, as I'm watching it in real time, I was watching it with my son, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I didn't feel fulfilled by it. And it wasn't just a thing of they didn't do the thing that I wanted them to do. It was just, there was a lot of stuff missing, and there was a lot of things that just didn't make sense for the characters, right? But what I will say is the epilogue was fantastic. I love that, because again, this was always about those kids. And I'm being a little loose because I don't want to spoil it too much, but there is a scene towards the end with 4 of the characters, and it's about, childhood friendships. You all grow up together, and as you graduate from high school, people start to move, you start to grow apart. That's just a part of life, right? A lot of your childhood friends, you may be friends with them, but you don't see them every day. You don't talk to them every day. And there's a scene with four of the characters where they're promising to meet up once a month because they're all moving to different places and they're going to meet up once a month. And I instantly looked at that and go, this is something that we all say and we all break that promise, because this is a part of life, man. Life things happen. You family, kids, jobs, move around. It just happens, unfortunately. So I found that very ironic, bittersweet in a way, and it was touching. It ended, the epilogue ended it in a good way. I was very satisfied with that. It was just a lead up to it that I was kind of, I don't know about this. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. I'm very happy that Stranger Things exists. I'm happy that idea, like we've had essentially a 10-year journey with these kids, that it happened. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you can obviously bring in Game of Thrones, you can think of Lost, you can think of so many other shows, Battlestar Galactica, where sure, they were fantastic in the moment and they didn't necessarily stick the landing. This wasn't as bad as like Game of Thrones, right? But there's obviously other examples where like The Sopranos or Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul or like The Shield, where they absolutely nailed it from start to finish. You know what I mean? So, hey, I'm just glad it exists. There were a lot of great moments, a lot of great discussions that were had about Stranger Things that, you know, they're obviously going to continue at spinoffs and all that. But this core, you know, 11, Mike, you know, Will and all the other kids, I'm glad it happened. I'll leave it at that. But what else do we have? Yeah, I've not watched that Welcome to Derry yet. I keep hearing that's really good. I gotta check that out. Yeah, they already confirmed for Stranger Things they're going to do an animated series that happens, I guess, between 4 and 5, or is it between 3 and 4? I forget the in between seasons that it happens. And then yeah, they're going to do this spinoff series as well, which they definitely sounds like they need to do, because that was my thing. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about certain things that came out of that. Yeah, Breaking Bad they absolutely nailed that towards the end. That was fantastic. But speaking of Vince Gilligan and Breaking Bad, I've been watching Pluribus. That's my show. That I absolutely love that show. Once again, Vince Gilligan and that crew, they're nailing it. I've seen complaints about, oh, it's too slow, it's this, it's that. It's fine. That's fine. That's honestly part of the appeal of it, because you need to slow down and not be staring at your phone and actually pay attention to what's happening. There's so many things that happen even without dialogue in that show, which is freaking fantastic. Rhea Seehorn, love her. Absolutely love her. And Carolina Widra, I believe that's Zosha, the actress playing Zosha. They're fantastic in this show. And the science fiction aspect of it, with the whole hive mind thing, where essentially we get this broadcast from 600 light years away, and it's basically this RDNA code, and then they do it. And again, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but basically the entire planet becomes a hive mind except for 13 people. And we're following Carol, who's like the ultimate miserable Karen type person, and just it's so freaking good. It is so good. I highly recommend, if you have Apple TV, go check it out, because for me it was the best show of 2025. And the only thing that I'm sad about is it is probably going to be 2027 before we get season 2. And yeah, that's just the only bummer, that I'm gonna have to wait way too long, you know, to find out what happens next. But Adam Bomb. And you're asking me, am I excited for Doomsday? And okay, what are you saying? Are you excited for Doomsday? I'm excited, but also my expectations are low, just because of how we got here. Doom power has to be explained in one movie while setting up a lot still. Yeah, you know, and I've actually been saying that on social media over the last few weeks, obviously with these Doomsday teasers that are starting to come out, that I'll be seated day one. Of course, I want to see it, but it's just, this Doomsday has to do so much heavy lifting that the previous saga, the Infinity Saga, didn't have to do, because they properly set up Thanos over multiple movies, where by the time you actually saw him get off that chair in Infinity War and he's, you know, giving his speech and holding Thor's head, you knew everything about Thanos, you knew his intentions, you knew what the stakes were, right? And all the characters around it had been developed, and you cared about what was about to go down. Whereas with Doomsday, they squandered everything since Endgame, so much so, if you really think about it, especially since Steve Rogers is coming back and they're calling this a direct sequel to Endgame, they're basically telling you, we dropped the ball, we screwed up, we didn't develop any new characters over the past 5 or 6 years or how long it's been that you're actually going to care about. So we got to, look, break glass in case of emergency, go get Steve Rogers, go get Tony Stark, let's go do this again. That's what's happening. They had to go get Chris Evans. They had to get Robert Downey Jr. because they know those actors and characters are going to bring people back to the box office, and you're going to care about them and what happens. Obviously, the big mystery is, how is Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Doom, Victor Von Doom, going to be? What is his tie to Tony Stark? There obviously has to be a reason that he looks exactly like Tony Stark. Is he a Tony Stark variant, or is Tony Stark a Victor Von Doom variant? Honestly, not a fan of either one personally, but we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I mean, if anything, what I think I'm excited for that's coming this year is Spider-Man Brand New Day. I'm sure some of you might have seen the leak, but seeing the leak and seeing where they're headed with this, we're getting Frank Castle, we're getting the Hulk. Sadie Sink, who her character is still TBD. It's kind of leaning Jean Grey-ish, seeming like Jean Grey, but we'll see how that goes down. Obviously, Tom Holland knocks it out of the park as Spider-Man every time. We're getting a more street level grounded Spider-Man. Looks like The Hand is going to be in there, so another Daredevil tie along with Frank Castle. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. I think that should be a lot of fun. And then we'll get Doomsday after that, and we'll see how, look, again, I'm sure people have seen the X-Men leak online for Doomsday. To see Cyclops finally get his run, bro, give it to me. Now, the interesting thing about that, and obviously we know they're very old in real life, is if you saw that leak, they're definitely playing Professor X and Magneto as being old, as definitely being in their 80s, damn near 90 years old, especially when you saw Magneto. He looked old. So I will be curious how that plays down. Obviously, there were Sentinels in the background. How's Wolverine going to factor into this? Are we going to get Storm? Are we going to get Famke Janssen as Jean Grey? Like, we obviously know Nightcrawler is going to be in and stuff like that. So there's a lot. Like, I'm excited for the X-Men of part of the Doomsday. I think that's what gets me excited more than anything, is to see how the X-Men are going to be integrated into this. How Doomsday ends, obviously leading into Secret Wars, and it's pretty clear, they're going to reboot all this stuff after Secret Wars. We're going to get Battle World, and they're just going to merge all the universes into one, so that you got the X-Men, you got the Avengers, Spider-Man, like everybody's in one universe now, so you don't have to do this multiverse crap anymore. What else we got here? And Sadie Sink is a GOAT. She was my favorite part. Yeah, look, it's funny when you think about everyone in that cast of the kids. She's the one that's going to blow up out of that and have a big career. Clearly, obviously, she's going to be a Marvel now. And if she's Jean Grey, then yeah, she's going to be around for a long time. But she's definitely the strongest actor out of all the kid group that we've seen so far. Oh, Eagles fan is asking me, Paris, is Avatar complete for you or more Avatar? Give me more Avatar, 4 and 5. Cameron gets my money every time. Obviously, just the visual spectacle of everything is worth the price of admission. But there's definitely more story to tell, with Jake Sully and just his family and Pandora and the humans and, excuse me, sorry about that. Maybe they don't want me talking about Avatar. Apologies. But he's talked in the past that maybe it'll be in 5, I guess, but we're going to go to Earth. So you're going to have that. You obviously got the Colonel, now him being a Na'vi and him learning. Like, there's still a lot there. I still think their son is going to be the one that unifies everyone together. And the spider, again, I don't want to spoil too much of Avatar 3. But yeah, I definitely want more Avatar for sure. And it was, I laugh when Cameron was basically threatening all of us, going, look, this don't make enough money. I'm done. I'm out. I'll just do a press conference to tell you everything that happened. And then guess what? Everybody went to go see Avatar. So it'll still make $1 billion plus. And yeah, of course, Disney's going to greenlight Avatar 4 and 5. Why wouldn't they? And yeah, MJ is asking me here, Paris, did you try the Avatar video game Frontiers of Pandora? You know, what's funny? I played it when it initially came out. Wasn't that impressed with it. It was kind of buggy and everything. And I put it down. But it was so funny over the holiday break. I've seen people, because they've, you know, Ubisoft continue to work on it, Massive continue to work on it. And I think there's a third person mode and all these things now. And it looks really, really good. And everyone is playing it, like really, really likes it. So yeah, again, it's time. I just got to find time. But yeah, I think I need to jump back in and check it out. And KR, no, I will not be at a Kind of Funny Day on Monday. I will remote in for the Fantasy Critic, which I think is the next day on the 6th. I'll be in studio for the Xbox Developer Direct. That'll be first time I'll be in studio this year over at Kind of Funny. And we've talked, you know, offline, kind of just leading up to the end of the year. I definitely want to do more stuff in studio with KF. So expect me just throughout the year to pop up every now and again in the studio, you know, for certain like quote unquote big events or like a big game review or something like that. I'll be in studio more, but yeah, I won't be there for KF Day, but yeah, I'll be in studio for the Developer Direct for sure. What else do we have? We don't know the date yet on the Developer Direct. There's rumors about it being, what did someone tell me? I mean, someone told me they think it might be like the 26th or the 27th of January. So like literally at the end of January. But yeah, Xbox hasn't said anything official yet, so we don't know. I would imagine they'll probably start teasing it next week, as early as Monday, because now the holiday's over, everybody's coming back in the office, so maybe they'll start talking about it and tease out a date just to kind of give everyone a heads up. But yeah, as soon as we know the exact date, I'll get that locked in. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to the studio, and we'll you know, do the live stream of the Dev Direct and obviously talk about it afterwards. Yeah. So yeah, Eagles fans saying the 26th. Yeah, I mean, I have not seen anything official about the 26th. I've only seen people, you know, allegedly saying it's the 26th. But yeah, I don't know anything. Did we ever get your thoughts on The Matrix 4? Only watched it once. I'm pretty sure I talked about The Matrix 4 on Kind of Funny. I know we did a Matrix in review. I think we talked about all of them. My thing is, you know, Lana Wachowski, if you watch it for the meta of it, it was a big middle finger to Warner Brothers because she did not want to do a Matrix 4. And they basically were like, well, if you don't do it, we're just going to do it anyway. So she said, fine, I'll do it, and gave the studio a big middle finger as a result. So that's what the Matrix 4 really was. I take it more as satire than I do to take it serious as far as continuing the story of the Matrix. I do believe they are about to make some other Matrix stuff without the Wachowskis. But I mean, you know, like I said, if you watch the Matrix 4 in that lens, that she was basically giving Warner Brothers a middle finger, I enjoy it for that, for sure. But if you try to enjoy it as this was the natural extension sequel from Revolutions, nah, it's not that good. And what else do we have here? And like I said again, man, I appreciate y'all hanging out. Like I said, I know this was such just an impromptu stream, just me running my mouth. And what else do we have? I don't have any. What do we got? Put that back up there. And what do we see? Will Dev Direct be before or after the yearly January MS layoffs? And how will this shape a conversation around the Dev Direct? First of all, let's hope there aren't any layoffs. Let's say that, to be clear. Layoffs are awful. I wish that on no one. It is very disruptive to people and their families. So I hope there aren't any. But I get it. I know what you mean. I would imagine if there were layoffs, it would probably be after the Dev Direct, because you do it before. No one, all we're going to talk about is you just laid off X amount of people and you expect me to be excited about Forza Horizon 6. It's not how it works. So yeah, they'll probably, if and or when more layoffs happen, it would be after. It would be my guess. We need more impromptu Paris streams. So I guess this is something else I want to talk about, and that's why I wanted to do this too. I definitely want to do more streams. moving forward. I mean, I'll continue to do stuff with Gamer Tech Radio and Kind of Funny, but it's like I have this channel here, and I have the ability to make my own content and do live streams and talk about stuff. So I just need to do it. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, and I'm gonna do it later. Like, I still need to unbox this. That's just how lazy my holiday has been. These are, look at that reflection on that. But these are not VR, but AR glasses from Veter. And Veter and CD Projekt Red sent these to me. This was a part of the 10th anniversary for Cyberpunk 2077. I will unbox these and open it. I'm just not going to do it right now because I want to be a little more professional about doing it. But yeah, I want to be able to do that stuff. Obviously have those kind of vids up, talk about that stuff more. I mean, there's going to be a ton of games to review and just other commentary. I definitely want to talk more TV and movies as well, even some anime stuff, just because these are just things that interest me. So that's what I would use this channel for. And like I said, the impromptu live streams, scheduled live streams, I just got to figure all that out, which I'll do here in the next few weeks. Let's see, what do I think about the Gen AI stuff they're playing with Halo and others? My opinion is Gen AI, I think you're saying can get F'd, but there are menial tasks. And that's the thing. And trust me, I think all this AI stuff is just ruining tech right now because of how it's being implemented. And look at it with the RAM and just data, this all the layoffs, all this stuff. It's terrible. I don't think it was done in a responsible way. But with that said, and you just said it, there are menial tasks that AI can do to make game development more efficient, which I am for. Now, taking away people's jobs, absolutely not. Doing crappy, because I guess even Satya Nadella doesn't want us to call it AI slop anymore. But what else am I supposed to say? Look, the nonsense that you see on social media right now with AI, and I've even been a victim of it, where people will make stupid AI videos of you, and they're just, it's funny the first couple times, and then it's just like, really? Like, what's the current thing right now? Excuse me, where they're asking Grok to, hey, put this person in a bikini or whatever, just stupid stuff like that. That's just immature and childish stuff. And that's what AI is being used for. And that's the only, it's not even beneficial, but that's the only use case that you're seeing right now is for just nonsense. So I get it, but bringing it to gaming, I mean, yes, there are use cases for it in game development where absolutely will be helpful. It will speed up game development. All that is great. I just don't want to see jobs sacrificed as a result. And what do we got? It's been so long since Half-Life, I almost forgot most of the story. I need a remake or refresh because I lost hope for Half-Life 3. Honestly, Eagles fan, if you jump in, like there's Black Mesa to go play the original Half-Life where they basically updated it. And then there's even right now there's Half-Life 2 RTX. I even did like a video thing on it. It was some months back. I did it as a project with NVIDIA. Looks fantastic. Go play them. I mean, that would be my advice on it. I mean, Half-Life is absolutely still playable, especially Half-Life 2 and the episodes. And that should get you all caught up because I would imagine, and we'll see, I would imagine Half-Life 3 is real. I think it is. It will be interesting to see, does the Steam Deck still come out and not get delayed? Because I would imagine they're going to announce it whenever they say the Steam Deck is coming out this date at this price, they're going to probably announce Half-Life 3 around the same time. That's my guess. I do think if the Steam Machine were to be indefinitely delayed because of all this RAM price nonsense, just put out Half-Life 3. I mean, it was already going to be just on Steam exclusive. Okay, it's not, being used to help sell the Steam Machine, but people are still going to go buy it in droves. So just put it out. So hopefully, knock on wood, first half of this year, we do get a Half-Life 3. I hope so. And if you have VR, go play Half-Life Alyx for sure. Absolutely play Half-Life Alyx. And what did I just do? There we go. All right. And what else do we have here? Just have to weather the trend, just like the colorizations in the 80s. So excited for the Steam controller. I am too. I still have my Steam controller, the original one. It was just way ahead of its time, and they they've learned their lesson. And I don't want to go dig it out, but like, this is my Steam Deck, and this is basically the Steam controller. Ooh, screen's kind of dusty, but that's what they have for the Steam controller now. It's basically the same thing. They're basically just chopped the screen out of the middle and put the two sides together to make that Steam controller. So can't wait to get my hands on it and check that out as well. The Series S is holding back 2026. Wait, there was something else in here I just missed. You're asking me about John Cena and WWE. I'll get to that in just a second. Thoughts on the Bucs season? Sucks. We were 6-2, and we're about to be 7-10. It's freaking terrible, but hey, it's a Bucs life. Do you think? Yeah, if they delay the Steam machine, they're going to delay the frame as well, because the frame also uses RAM, so it would be the same thing, I would imagine. I swore there was something else I missed. Hold on. Yeah, Half-Life Alyx. Maybe I didn't miss it. Thought I missed something on there. But as far as John Cena, I mean, unfortunately, they botched his retirement run. I hate to say it. It was funny. I was at when Raw debuted on Netflix. It was almost a year ago at this point, right? I guess it'll be a year Monday. My son and Danny, we all went. And John Cena obviously came out at that. And who would have thought a year later you'd be like, damn. Really? I mean, obviously the whole heel thing, they kind of botched. The Rock came in, disappeared, like Travis Scott, all that stuff. And then because, his heel turn didn't really work, he just came out on a random, I guess it was a SmackDown. So, okay, I'm a face again. You know what I mean? But I mean, dude's a legend. I mean, as he said, he's one of the greatest of all time. There's no doubt about that. I know a lot of people were upset with how he went out with Gunther, but that's what you do. Of course he was going to tap out. That because you want to generate heat for Gunther moving forward. That has always been the traditional way of pro wrestling. When you leave a territory or when you retire, you go out on your back. So, I actually kind of like that he smiled. As he tapped out, because he knew it was the end. We all knew it was the end, and you move on. I do think WWE has a lot of work to do this year, because all the guys that we're used to watching, they're all 40 plus and they're all starting to retire. It is time to create new talent, new main event talent. And I don't think they've done a good job of that in the last couple of years, because you name me, the person that is under 30 years old that you're excited to see that has been on the main roster. I mean, sure, there's, some NXT guys that we can see that potentially could come up. The closest would be Braun Breaker, right? Other than that, who is it? I mean, they've wasted Carmelo Hayes. I mean, yeah, they gave him the U.S. title now, but we'll see. But like I said, my whole point is you need to start. This is the next generation now. You got to start elevating the new talent and getting us, the fans, to actually care about the new talent so they can elevate it to be main event, that we want to go spend the money to go to the Raws and the SmackDowns, watch it on TV and go to WrestleMania and all that. Because, like, we went to WrestleMania last year in Vegas. I'm not going this year. I'm not spending all that money to go see this. What I'm going to go see Roman and Cody 3? You know what I mean? So it's time. And Paris, you got to read Hickman's X-Men run. I probably do. It's funny. I was big into the X-Men comic wise, and I actually still have them right behind me. The 90s, all the 90s stuff, but family, kids, all that. 2000s and beyond. I have not really read a lot of X-Men stuff at all. So if there's some new X-Men stuff, then yeah, if I find time, I should definitely do it. What do we got? Yeah, Hollywood. That's what I'm saying. Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes, Braun Breaker, Oba. Yes, they're the future, but you can't just go. You can't. Remember when Vince shoved Roman down our throats? You can't do that with those guys, right? But you got to put them in situations. And I know they've teased a little bit, like Oba with Cody and all that. Like I said, Carmelo now has U.S. title. Braun, I don't know if they're going to put Braun over on Raw and have him beat CM Punk right now, but it needs to happen. Maybe you build it all the way up to Mania or whatever. But I could see a scenario where Braun gets that belt before Mania. Obviously, Seth is going to come in. There's a lot of moving parts, but you got him to set him up as a big mega heel main eventer, right? And they're starting to do it, but there's still work to do, I guess is the point I'm making. But now's the time, man. You got to get this young talent up to main event status, because again, Brock Lesnar's probably retiring this year. AJ Styles is going to retire this year. It sounds like Jericho's going to come back for a retirement run. He's out. Punk's going to be gone soon. Roman's already a part-timer. He's going to be out soon. I mean, Cody's probably around for a few more years, but then he's going to be out. You get my point. These guys are getting older. Seth keeps getting injured. He can't do it forever. So it's time, man. You got to elevate these new kids up. I mean, even on the women's side, I mean, you got Rhea, you got Liv Morgan, but you got a whole bunch of talent, women talent down there in NXT. I mean, Bayley is getting towards the end. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you got to elevate the next generation. Now's the time. I know I keep saying it, but now's the time. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, Jericho's, rumored to come back as early as on Monday, on Raw, or they might hold him to the Rumble or whatever. But that's great. But look, showing my age, I remember, when Jericho, like, I love Jericho even when he was in WCW and he was trolling Goldberg, and he had the feud with Dean Malenko. And remember, Dean Malenko was the man of 1,000 holds, so Chris Jericho was 1,001 holds. I used to love that whole gimmick he had, and obviously him coming to WWF at the time, with the Y2J gimmick and that promo he cut as a debut with The Rock was amazing. I remember going to they did in San Diego. They did a Sunday Night Heat and a Raw, back to back, like all in one taping. And like the day before, I'm down Ocean Beach. I actually met Jericho down at one of the bars. He's always been a cool dude. He's always been, and I know he's some little sketchy comments and stuff he said in more recent years. But the point is, he's been around a long ass time, and you can't keep relying on the old talent, to carry the company. You got to get the young kids going. Man, sorry about that. But like I said, I've been running my mouth here a lot. But like I said, I just, I want to talk a little bit about what was coming up in 2026 for games, and obviously all these crazy prices that are about to have. There was a chat. Someone was asking me something about something Jez said. If you are still here, ask it again, because clearly I missed it. I was going to respond to it because Jez and I actually we had like a hour and a half conversation already about a lot of Xbox and 2026 and all that that'll be out next week. So I was curious what your question was on that. But as I start to wind this down, I'm excited for 2026. Like I said before, there are a lot of amazing I didn't talk about Planet of Lana 2. Planet of Lana 2 is probably one of my most anticipated games, along with Replace, and obviously Gears E-Day and Fable and Forza Horizon and Wolverine, like all these amazing games that are be coming out this year. Probably my biggest issue is going to be time, figuring out time to be able to play all this stuff. But it's going to be a good year for games. It sucks that the pricing is out of control right now, for PC gaming, obviously trying to buy these consoles. So if you already have a console, be thankful that you already have one and don't have to spend, these ridiculous prices, excuse me, on this stuff. But should be a good year for gaming. Should be a good year, for movies and television as well. Obviously, all the Marvel stuff that's about to drop. I mean, I'll say this, as far as DC goes, the Supergirl teaser, it was okay, but I have high hopes for it. I do think it looks like it, has a lot of potential, but, I'm willing to obviously see more than just completely judge it just by that teaser. I'm very curious to see how Momoa is as Lobo in there, and then how they portray Kara. Obviously, we've gotten a tease of that from Superman movie. She's not like Superman. She's a freaking drunk. She's a partier. So very curious to see how that goes down. Clayface is going to come out later. Lanterns, that the TV show is going to come out. So, obviously, like I said, we're Marvel. We're getting Doomsday. We're getting Spider-Man Brand New Day. We getting my boy Daredevil. We getting Born Again season 2, which is really, this is the real season 4 of the Daredevil Netflix show, because now we're getting the whole band back together. All the OG cast is coming in. They didn't have to remake it and rewrite it. These are the showrunners that picked it up halfway through season 1 and rewrote it. They did all of this for season 2 now, so we're going to get a coherent story all at once. The Defenders coming back. It's going to be great, man. I can't wait. Cannot wait. But like I said, I'm going to probably just go ahead and wrap this up now. It looks like I have been yapping for over an hour. Like I said, I just wanted to kind of test this out, kind of just get back in the groove, so to speak, of live streaming. I will definitely be doing some stuff this week with Gamertag Radio surrounding some CES stuff. Like I said, I will be on Kind of Funny for our Fantasy Critic draft, and then later in the month I'll be in studio for the Xbox Dev Direct, and we'll obviously see what else comes along the way. But like I said, should be good 2026, definitely. So I hope everyone has had a good holiday. I hope good time with family, friends. We're here in the new year. Let's just make the most of it, man. So thank you all for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I will figure this out and be more consistent so people can know when to find me on here. But all the YouTube things people say, like, subscribe, all that stuff. And I really appreciate all the support. And go Bucks. I cannot believe we're 6-2. And here we are. Thank God I just went to the Seattle game. I was going to go to all these games this year, and my spidey sense went off. Me and my son went to the Seahawks game. We won. That'll be a memory I hold from this season, because all the rest of it is going to be freaking terrible. But I'll say again, hope everybody is, like I said, had a good holiday. Here we are in 2026, and I will talk to you again really soon. So hope you have a good rest of the day. And I'll see you soon. That was terrible. That was a terrible way to end it, because I said see you soon like 5 times, but I'll see you soon. Y'all have a good holiday. I'll talk to you soon.